Namaste everybody and a very good afternoon. I'm sorry there was some technical glitch at my end, right? So I see a lot of people joining in. Wonderful. We'll just give a minute for everybody to join in. Rupali ma'am is here, Mona ma'am is here. Good afternoon. Yes, okay. So, my today's topic is a very important topic, and I understand that we are all curious sometimes that how did the child start speaking all of a sudden, right? So, how does language develop in a child? It is very, very important, and I'm sure as parents or as teachers, you're waiting when the child will learn to say that word that you are expecting them to, right? As parents, you would want them to say that um, mama, papa, dudu, right? It's so exciting when the child starts speaking. So how exactly does it start? Yes, I'm getting a lot of highs. Hi Mithil, hi Nimisha, hi Pinky, right? Okay, what I would like to start with is a quote, okay, which says that the child begins to perceive the world not only through his eyes but also through his speech. It is very, very important for him or her to express herself. So now, what do you say mean by language or communication? Okay, so communication has two parts. Mainly, it involves the speech as well as the language. Now, what is the difference between speech and what is the difference between language? Right? Speech is the verbal communication that we have. What I am doing right now, right? We are having a verbal communication. We are having a verbal communication. Okay, and what is speech? Sorry, language refers to the rules that we have in our grammar, the grammar rules, how you are supposed to put the words in place, right? And how you're supposed to pause at certain places and all of that, right? So that is how the now I'm going to use some of the what do you say, the terms that may be a little technical, okay, but these are the four main components of language. That is, first it is the phonology. So what is a phonology, right? Phonology means it is the sounds, the initial sounds what the children learn. Okay, so that can be just the little cuddling or the goo goo, the chi chi, or whatever little sounds that they make. Later on, as they grow, they may be having they may learn the sounds that they hear from their immediate environment. So when I say immediate environment, it basically is the house, like in the home environment, how the child learns from the parents or the grandparents or whoever are there in the house. Okay, so first is the phonology. The second is another technical word, that is semantics, right? Now, what is now the semantics? It's just the vocabulary, it's building words. So if I want to say that, okay, this is a doll, so I know that this is a doll. I hope you're all able to hear me clearly. I hope you're all able to hear me clearly. If you can please write down in the message. Okay, yeah, all right, fine. So the semantics means the vocabulary and how your concepts are expressed. Like if I want to say, I want to eat an apple, okay? Or the child, maybe a 2-year-old child will just say, apple, maybe like that, okay? Then comes the grammar part of it. Okay, so in the grammar, it's like the proper framing of the sentences. Okay, so it can start with a pronoun or a noun, have the verbs, have a little bit of adjective. So how the grammar is placed, it gets complex as children grow. Then comes the pragmatics. Now this is very, very important. Now what do we mean by pragmatics? Okay, these are the simple rules that we use. Like if I am wishing you or if I am greeting you, I will say it in another way, right? If I am with my friends, I will talk in another way, all right? If I am if I'm with my teachers or somebody, I will present myself in another way. We do that generally, right? So that comes under pragmatics. All right, so I'm just going to tell the four main components of language. First is the phonology. That in the word phonology means sounds. All right. The second one is the semantics. That is how the words are used in a sentence, or how you express. If I want to say water, I'll just say water. All right. The third part is the grammar, and then the fourth is the pragmatics. Pragmatics is how you use language in a different way. Like when you're greeting, you will say it in another way, right? Then if you're talking in a topic, maybe there are rules for certain topic when there is a speech or something like that. All right. Okay. Now, how does language? So a child has to be firstly biologically ready to start speaking. Okay, without that it is not possible. Okay, so I can't tell a 6-month-old baby, come on, start telling mama, say papa, or anything like that. Okay, so the first 5 years are the most critical for language development, but it isn't that only till 6 years the language development happens. It happens throughout the years. All right. Then during the first 5 years, it is mainly the stimulation of language that happens. Now, what is the stimulation? That means I am able to hear sounds from around my environment, my immediate environment. I take those sounds and I store it in my brain. So what happens is, as a baby, what I do is there are a lot of nerve cells that are growing in my brain. Right? So these nerve cells have to be connected. They are getting connected every single time. So as and when I hear a sound, that sound is stored in my brain, in my nerve cell, and then when I have to speak, I'm going to use those sounds to speak. All right. Now, early on, if you see a small baby, what they do, they just make their own sounds, like the cooing sound, or either they are crying or anything like that, right? And as they grow, so maybe around 1 year, 1 year to say maybe around 16 months or something, that is when they will repeat the sounds what they hear around you. So that's when that conversation helps really to the children. All right, so the first words are the words that the child loves the most, and it is the important part of the child. Either they'll say mama or they'll say dada. All right, or it can be something that they want. All right, so it can be dudu or whatever you have taught them. It can be pani, dudu, but very simple words, and they will repeat the sounds and the words. They'll try to repeat after you. Now, after they turn, say around 18 months or something, that's when, or closer to 2 years, they start using 2-word sentences. All right. So when I say 2-word sentences, it can be just mama come, papa office. All right. For them it is a complete sentence. All right. Or they can just say pani give, dudu do. Okay. For them, they think that we are framing a complete sentence, but for us, you don't have to answer to them back like that. It may look very sweet. Sometimes children have still not developed their complete speech. That's when they cannot tell certain sounds very clearly. When they say mujhe lona ala hai. Alright, it may look very cute at that point of time, maybe because they are not able to pronounce the sound r. Alright, so here, as an individual or as a parent or a teacher, I cannot talk back to the child in the same way. I have to ensure that I speak the correct way. आपको रोना आ रहा है? क्यों रोना आ रहा है? Alright, if you say अल्ले मेरे दिक्कू को लोना आला है, alright, then the child will feel that, oh, this is the sound that I have to take and this is what it is. Right, and as they grow along, they will continue with the same wrong sound that you have taught them. Alright, so always ensure that you speak in the baby language, but there is clarity in the sound, that you have to say the correct sound. right? Then there are, by the time they come to preschool, that is around at 4 years and above, they have a lot of understanding and rules about the language. They start talking in like at least short sentences, like, did you do your homework? Yes, ma'am. They may answer in one sentence or two sentences. That's absolutely fine. But again, as a teacher and a parent, I would always request you to talk in complete sentences. Okay, that means when you say yes, oh, I understand that you have completed the homework. Very good. The minute you start talking in complete sentences, the children will also develop that habit of talking in complete sentence, and that's how their grammar builds. That is the next stage. That is when they come to their elementary school, right? Then another question to what I generally get, that ma'am, what are, when you say stimulation, so what all activities can you do when to stimulate the language for the child? All right, so some things like, you have, right from the time the baby is small, the communication has to be there, right? So I can emote, I can talk everything to the baby. The baby may not completely respond to what I'm talking, but I have to understand that the child is listening to me. He is grasping, he or she is grasping those sounds around me, right? So verbally always respond to the baby's vocalization. So when the baby is saying, oh, you want to laugh, wow, that's very good, very nice, see, we are laughing, all right, the child will definitely look at you and respond. Talk to your baby as much as possible. This is the same thing with the teachers also. Always talk, have a lot of conversation with the children. Let's not restrict it only to our syllabus and to our the work that we are only supposed to do. Let it go beyond that. Okay, then around 6 months of age, you can always use shared attention or a gesture. You know, you want water, all right, pani chahiye aapko, so have a gesture along, so it becomes easier for the child to understand and reciprocate to you. Then sometimes learn to point the names and you know, say bottle, oh, you want your bottle, okay? And so what I'm doing, I'm exaggerating that. Oh, you want a doll, see here, I have a doll. What is this? This is a doll. So what am I doing here? I'm using to describe this thing in an exaggerated voice, right? And we think that only to make the baby sleep I have to sing a lullaby, all right? Not necessary. Sing to your child right from the time that it is a baby, okay? Or until they ask you to stop. Okay, mama, now I'm tired of your song. So when they can say that, that's when you can stop singing to them. I had my son, I used to always sing to him a lot of things, right? And then there was a time he said, mama, I think you should stop your singing now, I'm done with that. Okay, so sing the song to communicate. So simple things, you know, even in the school also, all the time you don't have to say, come on, pick up your things, put it inside your bag, what a dirty class this is. You can just sing a simple song. Let's pick the toys now, let's pick the toys now, put them in their place, put them in their place. Which one sounds better? Tell me. The loud voice in that scary voice, or just a simple song, right? And you will see how nicely the children go in that rhythm and they put their things in their place. All right. Now, for your older children and preschool, the main component to help their language, to build their language, is storytelling. All right. Storytelling is wonderful. They understand a lot of things through storytelling. It can be just the voice modulation that you have, right? The expressions that you show the children, correct? So narrate a lot of stories. Even use stories to explain your topics also. Okay. Then sometimes as parents, you know, the first question we ask the children that what did you do in school today? And what does the child reply mainly? The child will always say, कुछ नहीं कराया आज, या बहुत कुछ कराया आज. Just any one answer reply. Why? It is boring. They don't want to tell you every single thing that has happened to you. So what I did was, we used the dinner time. So where we are not using any of our gadgets, we are all on the dinner table, and we used to play this game called Roses and Thorns. Alright, now this roses and thorns, what is it? So roses are what went good in the entire day, and thorns are what things didn't go that well in the day. Alright, so each one of them would share their experience. So I would say that because I was working as the head of the school, of the pre-primary section of the school in Bangalore. So what I used to say that for the roses, oh, today I got such a wonderful compliment from one of my students that, ma'am, I like the way you drape your sari or the dupatta, and I want my mama to do the same way as you. Then what was the thorn? I had so much of correction work that I am literally very, very tired. Right? So when you start sharing your things with your child, the child will also learn to reciprocate in the same way. They will also learn to understand that, okay, this is roses, this is the thorns. So they will come to know, and they will be able to express it well. There may be certain information you may get from the children which you may not get directly by asking them. Okay, so all the time we cannot be like a police and interrogating them. Have it in a nice fun way. Okay, then obviously now in our COVID situation, we are all in the house, right? And sometimes we are too much in our gadgets. But I would say this is a very good time where you can be with your children, you can develop their language, you can leave your electronic gadgets aside and have absolute quiet, not quiet, but gadget free dinner times, right? And talk, communicate. That is one important thing to develop a language in the child. If you want a child to have a very good vocabulary, what you can do is take a dictionary, tell a word, okay, try to use that word as many times as possible. Okay, now so these were some of the things that how you can help a child develop their language. But sometimes parents also have that, ma'am, 3 साल का हो गया है, बोलता नहीं है. How to help the child? Is my child having some problem or anything as such? But it is not that. It is not that. Okay, there are certain things that you have to wait. There may be times when the child can understand everything that you're saying. They're understanding all your instructions. Give small instructions, small and short and crisp instructions. Okay, so what you have to do is always maintain an eye contact whenever you are talking to the children. That is for the teachers when they are in the school. Okay, do not give your attention only to the few of the children. Your attention, your eye contact should be with all the children. And that is the same thing with the parents also. I would say the parents also the same thing. That when you are talking to your child, give your complete eye contact. Please give your complete eye contact to the child. It is very important. It's not that I am working on the phone and I am answering the child. The child will also do the same thing when they grow up. Okay? So always have a good eye contact. Now, when the child is not able to give you the eye contact while they are talking, they are always looking away. While they are always looking away, it can be something that of a worry. Okay, then maybe if they are not following the instructions, okay, then also. Now sometimes what happens that certain parents, they insist a child to learn a particular language even if the child is not comfortable with. So if children can learn as many as languages they are exposed to every single day. Okay, but it is very difficult if you force the child to speak a particular language. Okay, then they will not talk at all. Okay, if you say, come on, I want you to perform in front of this entire group, come on, tell that rhyme that your teacher has taught. Have you taken permission of the child? No, you haven't. Correct? So please, let's not get into that. Do not force the child to learn any particular language. If you want them to, then try to expose them to those to that language. Okay, like when I stayed in Bangalore, so we speak Gujarati, and sometimes we used to read books in English, and in the school also the communication was English. So my child understood Gujarati and English. Then he used to watch certain channels or something. There he had learned Hindi. He caught up with Hindi, right? So Hindi also he picked up. Now we were worried that we are staying in Bangalore, so Kannada is very, very important. How do we go about it, right? So we had a helper who would talk in Kannada with my child all the time, and from there he picked up those few words of Kannada, right? We did not force him at all. We did not do anything. Anything as such, okay, but he just picked up those words and we just added on. Oh wow, you're speaking in Kannada. We spoke back in Kannada to the child, right? So please do not force a child. If you force a child, then it may seem that the child will not be interested in speaking at all. Now most parents are a little worried that ma'am, English is compulsory, and what to do. So here they can should we switch on the from the phone the YouTube channels or the links, and help the child speak? It's absolutely fine, but again you have to ensure the screen time is limited. Okay, please do not go beyond the screen time. All right, and read to the child as much as possible, and let the child have fantasy play. Okay, that is the role play. Like the child may want to become a teacher and have a role play of a teacher. The child may want to be a cook one day. So that's when he learns to use, okay, I'm a cook today, I'm going to take a ladle, and with the ladle I'm going to whisk, or I'm going to do this action. So that way it will build up their vocabulary and their language. Okay, so a child, and there are certain parents who are bilingual. Okay, and they would say that ma'am, I want him to learn my language as well, and the other parent will say, I know, I want him to learn my language as well. So as I again said, that please do not force the child. Speak, expose the child to the language as much as possible. The child will automatically absorb the language and will start speaking when he or she is ready to do that. Alright, so these were the few things that I think I covered up with how the language develops in a child. Okay, so I think there were certain questions as to what were the 4 important components of language. Okay, so again I will just repeat it once. It is phonology, semantics, grammar, and pragmatics. Okay, so phonology is the sounds, alright, that they say. Semantics is the use of those words or the language. Grammar is how you use the grammar of a language in a correct way. And pragmatics, okay, pragmatics is how to use, after learning the grammar, where to apply and when to apply. Right, I hope I have made myself clear and a little bit ensuring that you have learned about how to go about learning the language. So thank you very much. I thank Tai, Harsha ma'am, Mona ma'am, and the entire committee as to giving me this opportunity to go live on your Facebook page. Thank you so much. I hope to do more of these, and I'm sure we'll go more in depth with the language preferably. Right? Thank you so much. Namaste.